said he needs 30 seconds. Richard needs 30 seconds.
Last time, everybody else.
Old business Court of Works.
All right, we're good.
Okay, I'd like to call to order City of Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for June 1st, 2020. Can I get a roll call, please, Mr. Fetty?
Sure. Board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Tommy Rolette.
Present.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements? I'll just let this group know, and I know council's in the room, but, and we'll address it more so at the utility board meeting in 2 weeks. But currently in the search for utility director, the first round committee is meeting tomorrow, I believe at 11 o'clock. I think we've got 46 applicants from all over the place. South Africa, everywhere. Everywhere. So anyway, you'll be hearing more about that, but I just wanted to let this group know, but we'll talk more about it as we go through the USB meetings and things like that. So that'll be an ongoing process. We're going to try to make sure we get the best candidate hired, that's for sure. So under announcements, that's all I got for the Board of Works meeting tonight. If no other announcements from you gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There's no committee reports tonight. I know that Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine did send his report to all of you, so you have that, and so that's for council as well. Under new business, I'd like to ask Jenny Felix to take the podium. I know this is an add-on, guys, but it's sort of time sensitive, so talk about the EMT hire.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'm here to request the board's approval for a new EMT paramedic. Rick Clark wasn't able to attend tonight, so I'm here representing the both of us. We were interviewing, we interviewed 3 candidates on Friday, and we both agreed that we wanted to recommend to the board Nathan Batchelor. Nathan, he currently works for Aurora, Moores Hill, and he's also part-time with Lawrenceburg, so Rick has seen firsthand Nathan's skills and abilities, and he's told me he's really impressed with them. So I was just asking for some approval to move forward with him.
Any questions from Board of Works?
No,
I will say this before we vote. Rick has been putting in a lot of extra shifts because we're actually short a person because of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the vacancy. So the sooner we can get this person up and running, the better off for Mr. Clark. And I appreciate all the extra time he's put in. And
When, I do have one question. When would they start once we approve them?
He is eligible to start right away.
Okay.
We got his background check already, but we are just waiting for the drug screening, and once that happens, we can get him going.
question. Any other questions, guys?
I have none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Nathan Batchelor for an EMT paramedic for the city of Lawrenceburg.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.
I know you guys are close to getting a labor apprentice hired too.
Yep, we're meeting
Right
again
here.
tomorrow.
Narrowing it down to the one.
Pretty close. Okay, good. All right, Mr. Weldon, fire truck resolution.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the Board of Public Works and Safety, in your packet, you'll see a resolution, a proposed resolution for City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, a resolution for the sale of Lawrenceburg Fire Department equipment to the Aurora Fire Department. This is a sale between 2 municipalities, and as such, by law, that can be for any amount that the board feels is appropriate. The board has arrived at the number of $15,000 that the City of Aurora Fire Department will pay to the City of Lawrenceburg for this equipment. The resolution that you see is very brief. This is actually the law requires that both municipalities or entities pass identical resolutions. So Aurora will be passing this exact same language in there saying they received that and they'll pay us the $15,000. The other document is just informational. You don't need to approve this or sign this, but this is just the sale agreement that Chief Tremaine will sign and the Aurora Fire Department will sign. They'll pay us $15,000 and we'll deliver the truck.
Is there a number on that resolution?
4.
4.
4-2020.
And, you know, one thing to remember, anything that we do offer to someone like Aurora or Greendale at a, you know, this kind of a reduced cost, I want to say, is really, it comes back to help us anyway, mutual
Yes.
aid and such like that. So it's a good thing for us to be able to offer our neighboring communities. So, okay, any questions about resolution?
I had none.
Okay, if not, entertain a motion to approve resolution number 4-2020.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank
Thank
you. Okay, got one item under old business, Mr. Weldon.
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask for a motion to approve the resolution to the HR matter previously discussed.
Okay, questions before we vote?
I have no questions, Mayor.
Okay,
No
if
question.
no other questions, then I entertain a motion to approve the HR matter that was previously discussed in the settlement.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
I have no other old business for Board of Works, guys.
I can,
You got something?
well, no, I don't have, not a big thing, but to go back to the minutes.
Yes, we did have something. Thank you very much for reminding me.
What's that, guys?
You
We
want,
didn't make a motion on them, and he needs to clarify something there.
for the Durham Country Club, it
Yes.
said that I made a motion, a favorable motion to city council,
It was a non.
and then
I
he
second it's a
seconded a
non.
non-favorable.
So we'd like
Right.
the minutes to clarify that.
Okay, so it needs to be, it should have been said as non-favorable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, but a non-favorable, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
it was a yes, but a non-favorable.
Non-favorable.
It's something we
It's
had
not,
to do.
there's nothing we could do.
I missed that because I
So it's
thought it was
okay.
favorable.
It's something we're required to do, but they were not in favor
Yeah.
of it.
Right.
What I think
All right, I'll make
the
that.
intent was.
Thank you.
We can
Thank
make
you
that,
for reminding me. Yes,
we
sir.
can make that change. All right,
Yep.
you okay keeping the motion to approve the minutes with that
Yes, yes,
change?
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
Okay.
sorry about that.
no problem, guys. All right, if no other old business, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Parks and playgrounds, as soon as we're seated. Looks like we're seated. Oh, okay. All right, I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg. Thanks, Jenny. Parks and Playgrounds meeting for June the 1st, 2020, with a roll call, please.
Sure. Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Justin Nobbert.
Yes, sir.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present. Board
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Present.
Board Member Brett Bondurant. Yes, sir. City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements, guys? Anybody have anything for Parks and Playgrounds?
Yeah, I'd like to say I've been up there to the park, and they've got it pretty much
You're supposed to
complete.
stay off of those playground equipment so far.
Well, I go
Jenny.
at nighttime, so nobody can
They
see
got
me.
hurt.
Makes sense now.
Did it or did it not open today? Because we were looking for a June 1st opening.
Well, no, actually, it was supposed to be May 24th, and then on the stage 3 of Governor Holcomb's back on track, and then 2 day he actually opened stage 3 2 days prior, which on that Friday, but he pulled back on opening up cinemas and playgrounds. So I've since sent actually I sent it right before the meeting as an email to his office, to the gentleman that we're supposed to forward our emails to get some kind of a clarification, because we, number one, I don't understand why they wouldn't be open at this point. But he has not come out and said that playgrounds or cinemas are able to open. So as soon as I get that answer, I'll share it with you guys, but we'll also share it with the public.
All right.
So yeah, Tony, I don't have any update on that, but going back to your point, Lenny, that playground has really turned out nice up there, guys. It really has.
Really good.
I can't wait for the kids to be able to enjoy it. And then, you know what, this fall, we'll get us a committee put together for starting with the refurbish of maybe Arch Street. And then we'll get that put in the budget. It really made a difference up there.
There's one thing I was wanting to say though. Now, didn't they make a recommendation here a while back that they was gonna set that up for handicap? They was supposed to have something up there for that?
We've got a handicap swing that was donated by American Legion. And yes, we are going to make sure that gets put up there. What we're trying to do is there's certain ADA requirements. And Mario is working with Schneider Equipment to try and figure out how we're going to do that up there, because the way it's set up right now, you couldn't do it on the existing equipment. We may have to put up a separate, but we didn't want to put that swing all by itself somewhere. You know, we want to make it inclusive.
And that's the one where you can wheel onto it and
Yes.
it's all self-contained, yep.
Exactly.
So I was looking for that the other day too. I didn't.
Our
yep.
plans is to have another one downtown here, probably in Arch Street, where, you know, majority of people use that park at downtown. But we're getting, Mario's working on that.
Is it gonna be stable? I thought it was gonna be, we was just gonna have it up there a while, then they was gonna move it down here.
Oh, no, we're gonna get a second one.
Gonna get another one?
Yeah,
That'd be really nice.
yeah.
You know, and even though Your Honor, if I could,
Sure.
there's been a lot of people out in the parks, out on the bike trails, and I've heard I've seen a lot of animal excrement around the different areas, and I know we're working on making sure we have some bags available to people, but if you just, as a reminder to the public, just to clean up after your animals when they're done, just so that we can all enjoy the parks and the bike trail. Just a lot of people getting good use on the bike trail, especially with this beautiful weather.
Yeah, that's a good point, Justin. Justin actually talked to me a week or two ago about, you know, hey, you know, everybody notices when people's puppies are using the parks, and quite honestly, it's against our ordinance. You know, people are supposed to clean up after their animals, and if a police officer would see them, they could write them a ticket. I know I've talked to some people around town that I've seen it happen, and then they went back and picked it up. But we are going to go ahead and actively try to get those bag stations at our park, at each of the parks. My understanding, they were in at one time and then got taken out for whatever reason. Don't know what that is. It must have been quite a while back. But we're going to get those put back in, and then hopefully people will use it. And I think the public needs to know that as well, Justin, like you said, and that's a great point. Good.
Another thing, while we're on that, I'm glad you mentioned the animals. I've had some residents up there that's been in the park, and they've stopped me. Are the animals supposed to be on a leash, or have we got a sign saying that they have to be on a leash?
We have a leash law.
You have a leash law?
Yeah.
Now, they got signs up?
The only place you don't have to have them on a leash is inside the dog park.
What about up there?
Yeah, they need to be on a leash.
Because I know a woman was complaining, one of them was up there and a pretty big dog, and it was getting close to her, and she was getting a little upset. And I said, well, she was wanting to call me, but I thought, I ain't going up there and getting in a fight with a bunch of them women. That ain't happening. So I told her, I said,
You'd rather fight with the dog?
Call the mayor.
You'd rather fight with the dog?
I said, I just told her, I said, just call the police or something, and somebody do something, but I couldn't.
But yes,
do
I mean, if somebody approaches you about, yes, there's a leash law, and that they need to be on their leash, and, you know, that's what they built a nice dog park for. I know not everybody can get down there maybe, but if they're out walking their dogs in the park, they're supposed to be on a leash.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of them that goes up there with them.
Yep.
And stuff. Well, you've seen them too, so.
Good point. Okay, anything else on our announcements, guys? If not, I'll entertain a motion then to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. For Parks and Playground, I do not have any new or old business tonight. I got some announcements in the council meeting I'll make that might fall under there, but just announcements. Any new business, old business that you guys may have that
I have none.
I could take a look at or anything? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
Do we need to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Common Council meeting for June 1st, 2020. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bless you.
And he thought he was gonna have to catch me. All right, could I get a roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Sure. Councilperson Tony Abbott. Here. Councilperson Justin Nobbert.
Sir.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, Mr. Abbott.
No report.
All righty. Finance, Mr. Bondurant.
No report.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Nothing else, Your Honor?
And Fire Department, Tom Roulette.
No report.
All right, sir. Okay, I've got 2 sets of meeting minutes to approve. The first one I'd like to approve is the May 12th work session. If I could get a motion to approve the minutes for that.
So move.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, then the next one would be the approvals of the minutes from the previous meeting, which I believe was May 18th.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I've got 3 or 4 items here, guys, I just want to make people aware of, and you guys have some announcements as well. We'll get to those as well. First off, I'd just like to, I think everybody in this room is well aware, but I'm sure the public is also, but, you know, the stuff we see going on in these big cities right now, we just need to make sure that, you know, we're doing everything we can at the local front just to make sure we try to stay ahead of any of that stuff. A lot of terrible things going on. So it's just important, I think, that we just remain diligent, and as council people and elected officials, I'm looking to you and myself as I do our first responders. You know, if you see something, report it, and I know you guys would. And so that's just a reminder. Couple of great things going on. Actually, our first movie in the park is going to be next Tuesday, June 9th. I believe it is Hunger Games. I've never seen it. I'm probably the only person in this room and in this country probably hadn't seen it. But I'm planning on going to watch it. They said it's a good movie. I don't know. Anyway, but this Wednesday starts exercise in the park, Mr. Fryman. Mr. Fryman is leading yoga.
Wow.
Lenny Fryman is leading all the yoga in the park.
I got some moves.
And I'm going to be in the front row.
Sir, I will not be attending that.
No, you know, but you won't want to attend it.
You might want to attend that just to see these moves now.
We will definitely be able to social distance because the attendance will be low.
Yes.
But but exercise in the park starts this Wednesday. I know they're excited to get started over there and things.
This is
I'm
at the
excited.
Civic Park?
I'm sorry?
At the Civic
Civic
Park?
Park, yes, sir. And just a lot of great stuff for the summer. We're starting to get going. Everybody knows that first Music on the River won't happen until, or Music in the Park, July 9th, after the lifting of July 4th. The other thing I wanted to bring up is and I will bring more to you on this in the utility board meeting in 2 weeks, but I wanted to run this by you guys. Proximo is called, they used to use our, how want to call it?
Lot.
I won't
Laydown
say
area.
lay down lot, but over by the city garage to park their trailers. And then there was some miscommunication and things, and they pulled out, and they had been since using a lot behind Burger King. Mr. Montgomery called and asked if they would do all the gravel work, okay, for that lot, and they would be willing to pay $1,000 a month to rent it from us. Now, we'd have to get something drawn up through legal, something, just a simple contract. I'll bring, like I said, I'll bring us up to the USB, but I just want to make you guys aware of it. Personally, I don't see a problem with it because it keeps people from going back there and dumping. And we also, I know Mr. Harper and the electric department has a lot up on top that he has to be able to get to, and that was there before, so Proximo's well aware of that. So I just want to make you aware that I'll be bringing this up to the USB to get an approval or not. So be thinking about it in case you have any questions or whatever. I'd be happy to entertain them.
Would we rent or would we do a lease?
Probably a 12-month lease, I think, just like we do on contracts, no longer than 12 months. And then just, have a clause in there to free up. And
If we
things
can
like
work
that.
hand in hand with them, I'm good with it.
Well, and the other thing is they've got cameras that actually are from Proximo that actually patrol that area too. So we're not using the area,
Right.
so
And it's not gonna, and we've had a little bit of discussion regarding this, and it's not gonna cause additional maintenance that would, from us, to
Right.
maintain this area or maintain even the road to go to that area. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be additional trucks going up the hill through the cut and the levee, but, not any other additional, maintenance on our side of things to maintain that.
it's some income that LMU will absorb into. So anyway, I'll bring it back up to USB. I just want to make you guys aware in case you hear anything, because I'm sure there's people talking, but I just didn't. There's been no approvals or anything. Like I said, utility director, we got 46 applicants. We're going to meet tomorrow, first meeting. I got a call from the health department on Friday afternoon. The state would like to use the community center for an additional month for testing. That would put us to July 5th. I've talked to Mary Beth. They're okay with it down at the community center simply because I think we just didn't know what the right date was to open up anyway.
Correct.
So we're gonna, I temporarily gave the okay to the health department to tell the state. Wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I had the conversation with like I said, the community center already. What'll happen then is, but this will be the last extension. They'll have to find another spot because we do want to get the community center back open. And then, but they'll need 5 to 7 days to clean it. So anyway, I look at that as a good thing for the area.
Yeah.
So I just want to make
Now,
you guys.
is that due to an influx of
Well,
appointments, or?
I think what it is the company that is doing this third-party testing or whatever, the testing at the sites, probably see it as an opportunity to test as many people as we can possibly get tested. I know the numbers have went down.
Right.
Mr. Knopper and I talked last week about how we can get the word out a little more, and we've done that. But anybody that goes in and gets tested is better than nobody getting tested.
Same requirements as first time
Yes.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to have an appointment. You can walk in. Take you a little longer if you walk in, because if you can go out online and fill it all out, it's a lot simpler and
Right.
quicker.
No,
Go ahead.
I've stopped down there a couple times just to thank them for being there and checking and see how things are going. Both times were one person there, and I'd ask them, and there's 2 or 3 of their staff there regularly, and they would welcome other people to come in. So that's what I've been,
Yeah.
I talked to the mayor to try to get the word out to encourage anyone who would like to be tested, symptomatic, asymptomatic, You think you may have had it. Obviously, they're not doing the antibody testing. They are just doing positive or negative COVID, active COVID testing. But if someone wants to get tested, they can walk in, anyone off the streets, as long as they have an Indiana license.
That's right.
So, and they're good. And they-
COVID, your meaning, is that the swab up the nose?
Yep. So if you want to go check it out, Lenny, and
All the
see
way
how
to
you
your
like
brain.
it.
Hey, I ain't going there.
Do that after yoga.
Yeah.
For clarification, the public is aware that they can go down there.
Yes.
on
Well,
their own.
we put it out on social media. We put it out
I think I do
everywhere.
recall when they first did that. Thank you. Yeah.
And even publicly now, we can tell people that, and we spoke with them, and people are welcome. Anyone is welcome with an Indiana license to show up there and get tested.
So
That's
you
all it
really don't have to
requires.
have- Had the symptoms or think you
No.
were sick, anybody can go up now and
Get
and
tested. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's kind of my backyard, and there's not a line. So for those people that don't like lines, there's no line. You can pretty much walk in.
And I'd encourage people
Mark
to go.
goes down every day and gets tested.
Yes.
I was
Once
getting
a
ready
day.
to say, that's new to his. He's already been in
Whether he
there.
needs it or not, he's getting tested every day.
She says get back down there.
Okay. Anything else to add to that, guys? I hope you, I went ahead and okayed that because I thought it was a good thing for us in this area, number one. But
Yeah, if the community center is okay with that.
they're fine. They're fine.
When are they supposed to open the community center?
Well,
Have we got any dates or
Yeah,
anything?
once they move out on July 5th, they'll need about a week to clean up. So it'll probably be the Monday, the 13th, is tentatively what we're going to probably communicate. It'll be July 13th. So,
That'd be good.
and it'll be nice and clean
What about the adult center?
and no update.
Nothing on that yet?
No, I have.
That's probably got to do with the elderly and stuff anyway. That's maybe
Yeah,
the reason.
I don't know that they're
They're
open or
holding
not.
off.
I haven't heard.
I haven't heard anything, so I don't.
Okay. All right, I got two other things. I just want to give you a quick update on fiber, okay? We're back to doing installations with some restrictions. What we've asked anybody any of our teams that are going in anybody's home, they have to wear a mask. Obviously, they have gloves on. We're asking people to get their appointments scheduled ahead of time. We're actually got a group going out and putting door hangers on the doors when we know we're going to be in their area within the next 2 weeks, so we can get as many people done in that area as we can at that particular time. We're getting a lot of people signing back up. And we'll be up at, I know Riviera's got a big backlog. We'll be up there the week after this, next week. We'll be starting up there, and there's 60 to 80 people to hook up there alone right now.
I was telling the people in our area, they was asking me today.
Yeah.
And I said that you was gonna get brochures and hang them on their doors.
Mhm.
And that's when they need to actually come down and go ahead and sign up.
Or at least make
I
a
give some
phone
of them the
call.
application.
What is the preferred method of signing up with the drive-through open right now? Through the drive-through?
Well, you can sign up, I believe there's an application online.
Okay.
But you can come also through the drive-through and pick up an application, take it home, fill it out, bring it back. That'll get you on the list.
Okay.
Okay. What I've also communicated to people, I just did one of those Mayor's Minute videos today about it that gets posted tomorrow. But what is important is a lot of people very early on said, "Hey, I signed up." Okay. Well, they really didn't sign up. What that was a sort of a save the date. Okay. I think utility department went out and said, "Hey, if you have an interest in this, let us know. Sign up." That's what they did. They didn't sign up for installation. So I'm asking people, and it shows in the videos, if you I think you're already signed up, please call and confirm. That way you don't get left behind and have to come back. So, and the last thing is, I want to remind you guys, tomorrow at 4:30 we have a work session on the pool guidelines. 4:30. That's it. I'm sorry for all the announcements. You guys, anybody here got any announcements before we move on?
Well, I
I
got,
don't have an announcement, but I got a question. Do you have any idea when the Firehouse restaurant's going to open? I seen where they put the seating in the outside, which really looks nice with the park there. I just
Yeah, it does look nice over in that area.
I know that the contract should be very close to being signed by both parties. Is that right?
Yep. If it wasn't signed today, it should be signed tomorrow.
And then
or
the
this week.
certificate of occupancy will be given, and they're free to open up anytime.
Yeah, we had a
Them.
work session for redevelopment commission on Friday to approve the final contract. That project is broken into a development agreement and then a land sale contract. So redevelopment essentially owns it for 5 years, keeps ownership for 5 years, and then if the restaurant is successful, which we fully plan on it being, then after 5 years they get the property. So it was a good deal for redevelopment. It was a good deal for them. All the things needed to kind of make everyone successful. So that happened Friday at the work session. We approved the last part of that, which was the land sale contract, terms of leasing it to the restaurant and those things.
So once it's signed, and hopefully next, if it's not already today, I don't know what Mr. Messmore got out this afternoon, but it would be within the next 24 hours, I would think, and then Carl will give them the certificate of occupancy, and they're open.
Good.
Whenever they choose, yeah. Pretty neat menu. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I've seen it.
It's pretty.
Looks
pretty
great
neat menu.
inside and outside.
It
Yeah,
does look
it does look good.
Really
Yeah.
like to go over and look at it, but then when we had this pandemic, I didn't take the time to go over. I didn't know if we could go in.
You can go in, you can go inside, just call
Yeah.
ahead, yeah.
There's
Okay.
people over there probably
Mike had
all
made-
day long. Mike might be over there.
He'd made
Just
comment
stop
that we
in
could, but
and they'll
again-
take you a tour. It's really
I'd like to see it.
it's pretty neat. Retro, so to speak, like firehouse type stuff, right? Pretty neat. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll just bring it up then. How about we start about Mr. Weldon on new business on fire truck resolution?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases the Common Council for the City of Lawrenceburg, in your packets, we have what has already been approved by the Board of Public Works and Safety as Resolution Number 4-2020, a resolution for the sale of Lawrenceburg Fire Department equipment to the Aurora Fire Department. This resolution, if approved by the Common Council, will transfer title to the 1995 Ford E1 Rescue Unit with the VIN number included in the resolution in exchange for the amount of $15,000 in U.S. currency. So Aurora would pay to us that amount. Aurora is also by law required to pass an identical resolution, which we've worked and want to say thanks to Alan Miller, who's the city attorney for the city of Aurora, and of course their mayor, Mark Drury. They're doing the exact same thing. And once they pay, if this resolution is approved, then we would transfer ownership of this unit to Aurora.
Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the fire truck resolution number 4-2020.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I want to make a note that 4-0 because Mr. Bondurant had to step out. So,
Got it.
all right. Motion carries 4-0. I've got one thing. It's mostly just a informational. You know, every year we put the 3 county school systems in our budget of our total of $750,000, and they usually it's split out 250, 250, 250. But let me back up a little bit. It's really 245, 245, 245, and 15,000 goes to St. Lawrence. Okay, I've received. I think you got the thank you letter that we had from Mr. Gailey. It was in your packet, if I'm not mistaken.
I did not receive one.
You did not get it? If you guys didn't get it, I'll get you copies of all 3. There was one from Mr. Gailey, one from Mr. Jackson, and one from Mr. Lowe's down at South Dearborn.
Yeah, I didn't get one either.
And also from St. Lawrence, and just thanking us for the contribution. They usually come, and Mr. Gailey a lot of times will come and thank you on behalf of all of them. But they had another engagement tonight. But so I said I would mention it, and we appreciate them acknowledging it. Not everybody does that we put in the budget, you know, and you know I appreciate when people acknowledge what the city of Lawrenceburg does for them sometimes. So. And it's doing a lot of things for our kids, right? So I know that it doesn't go unnoticed. So anyway, we don't need anything to be done with that. I don't have any other new business. Any old business, guys, that I may have not put on here that you guys can think of right now?
I have none.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain comments from the audience, Mr. Emerald.
gotta talk now.
You're on the spot now. Okay, he has none. Let it be noted that a reporter has no comment.
Imagine that, huh?
Oh, okay. We'll see it in the paper. Okay, that's better. All right, if not, I entertain a motion then approve the claims.
So moved.
Make motion.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I got something I want.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Quick. The people up there on Bel Air, not on Bel Air, but on 48 up there, they're saying that they'd like to see the officers come up by the park from where, is it 30 mile an hour up through there or 35?
35.
And they said they're flying from there all the way down to the gas station,
From the park to
from the
the.
park.
Mr. Abbott had made comment about that.
Yeah.
Some meeting back.
Yeah, and they addressed it with me again this week, and I said, I'll see what we can do.
I'll get Chief Snyder on it tomorrow morning.
No,
problem.
yeah, that,
Wait,
take care of that.
Real quick, would it be in our best interest, and I realize they just set that sign up down there, maybe we should put that in that area?
We,
You know what I mean?
no
To
problem.
just
I thought of that too, Tommy, because when they put it up on the other end, it did slow everybody down.
Do we don't have a reduced speed coming through the back, coming from the Manchester way? There's not a sign
they're
that
all,
says it's
it all
stopped.
says
There's a
35,
sign.
but I live right, you know where I
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
And I'm telling you, I will pull out of my lane sometimes, and it's like they're running late for work.
they're flying by the BP.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
see that too.
Well, it's a little straight stretch.
I
They
had a,
accelerate and they
yeah.
get the turn, so yes.
yeah, it's.
So that's
it
just
can be
something
a-
that,
No, I'll get him to do that. I'll have him take a look. The reason they set the speed limit sign out here was there, was a lot of complaints about speeding down Walnut once they hit through a stop sign. So they've got it there for a period of time. We can get it moved up there. That's not a problem.
I could borrow one of the radar guns if
There
they
you
let me
go.
write the ticket.
You don't have anything else to do during the day now, right?
Yes, I do, but I wouldn't take time out to go up there.
You can sit up there on your motorcycle.
yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah. Any other comments, guys, before we adjourn?
No.
Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't nobody leave. Mr. Fetty needs signatures.
Your signature.
No, I just found out about it.
You leaving? Are you getting out of here early? Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'll walk up there.
It was originally, and yeah, so I talked to them. I came the first day, well, you know what? That was what was recommended, and that's what was stated.
Oh,
When
my
I
goodness.
went in,